A former professional basketball player, Chad Varga, has left the court and is now coaching kids in the game of life.
He's spoken to millions of students across the nation, people on college campuses and corporate seminars, and he's been in Kentucky spreading his anti-bullying message to students here as well. We want to welcome Chad Varga and Karen Smith-Haskins with Inspire Now. Thank you both for coming.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate it. How did the issue of bullying become so important to you? Who's going to bully you? I mean,
it's a hot topic.
Yeah.
I think, throughout the nation, education circles, you see the top stories that are always elevated at the top of newscasts. You see the school violence, shootings, bullying. I think, I don't really like the word bullying because I think sometimes it's exactly what you said. When you hear bullying, you think big guy picking on little guy. It's taken on a completely different aspect today. A lot of times now you can see bullying being, it could be a 85-pound cheerleader that puts a Facebook site together that says, like this page if you hate so-and-so, and it can be very damaging. So, that's one of the things that we discuss, but, partly I have a real understanding of adversity and through some of the things that I went through as a kid growing up in Detroit.
And that's some of what you share in your recent talks. You were talking to Tate's Creek not
Absolutely.
so long ago, the kids over there. Is that some of kind of what you share, that, guys, I've been through this and you can make it through?
Absolutely. I think sometimes we judge a book by its cover. I grew up in the Detroit, Michigan area. I was labeled an at-risk kid, supposed to be a statistic. One thing you don't choose is the family you're born into, and I was born into a family. My mother was an alcoholic and drug addict, so I endured a lot of adversity and abuse as a kid. When I was young, getting dragged 2 o'clock in the morning to what they call a crack house today. Back then they called them a laboratory, and my sister Wendy and I exposed to things that no kid should have to see, through the middle of the night. And the next day I'm going to school, and my socks don't match, or I'm wearing the same jeans that I wore 3 days in a row, or the same shirt. And then, remember sitting there in homeroom and getting laughed at and made fun of and thinking, if you only knew what I went through last night, you wouldn't be making fun of me the way they are. So I understand hurt, was able to overcome that through basketball, some of the things that I was able to accomplish. But just letting kids know that regardless of what you face in life, there's hope, and trying to lay some foundational principles to help them succeed.
A compelling and relatable story, certainly. Karen, what is the overall goal of Inspire Now, Inc.?
The overall goal is to reach as many kids as possible, to provide hope to kids that are hurting. As a retired principal, I know firsthand the need that we have with all of our kids. You can see them every day at school or at home or out in the community, and you think everything's okay until you really get to know them and get to know what they're going through. There's so many hurting kids in the world, and it's such an inspiration to get to see the impact, the profound impact that Chad's message has on schools and on kids, also on teachers as well. He does a phenomenal job with teacher training as well.
It's a great program, and thank you so much for coming and sharing briefly with us what you're doing, and continue to do the work, my friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Great mission. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you
Thanks so
so
much.
much. Thank you.
We're back.